everybody, it's me, Biliah, Sega Gamer, and welcome back to my Nights into Dreams LP. This time we're doing Winter Nights. However, instead of playing the character Knights, we're gonna play as Knights' rival, Biliah. Oh, and in Winter Nights, Elliot and Clarice are instead wearing her pajamas, but with slippers. Nothing special. It's not as unique or, let's say, creative like the New Year's or Christmas nights. And just to let you know, this video is post-commentated. Believe it or not, I record this for 3 times. I record the live version, but it didn't do so well, so I post-recorded this. However, my audio was screwed up, and I had to edit everything again. Believe it or not, this was planned to be on in Valentine's Day, seeing how this is the last holiday rendition of Nights you're gonna see in this game. Because if you play Christmas Nights on any other day, yeah, it's just a regular demo of Nights into Dreams. So yeah, there's only Christmas Nights, New Year's Nights, and Winter Nights. In the HD version of Nights, there is Halloween Nights, and there are summer holiday themes. But we'll get to that in this video by the time I showcase Biliah. Now, Biliah, in terms of gameplay, Biliah just, basically controls the same like Knights, but I think a tad bit more faster than Knights. But yeah, Biliah is just an extra hidden character you could play as. On April Fools. And basically, yeah. And basically, once you play the April Fool's rendition of Knights, once you play the April Fool's rendition of Knights, aka Biliah, basically you get to play it. You unlock the character and you get to play as Biliah in the present section of Christmas Nights whenever you want. I need that cup of water. But yeah, sorry about the slight pauses. This was recorded from the live version because, believe it or not, my mother had to call me up for something. But don't worry, I did some editing throughout the rest of the extras. The second part of this extra video, in this video, I actually did a lot of editing of the load times, so yeah. And I had to fix the sound mixing. It was a bitch to do, but I did it. Just like the great Clement said, I do not crank out a video a day. So sorry, yeah, it took me a long time. This was supposed to come out on Valentine's Day, and I was gonna ask you questions about what do you do on Valentine's Day. And I was gonna say, as for me, it's just a Singles Awareness Day because I don't have anybody special. And oh yeah, believe it or not, again, I was gonna do, when I was doing the post-commentated 2 of my video, I was gonna say that I was gonna use the Knights theme to make a anime music video of a certain DC couple of my Valentine's Day video, but I don't know. I may not end up doing it now, seeing how it's a little bit too late. Yeah, seeing how it's a little bit too late to do it, and plus we're already in fucking March. I just want to get this playthrough done so that way I can move on to Tempo, Sonic 3 and Knuckles, and finish up Vector Man. Oh yeah, and just like in New Year's Nights, you get to hear the Knights jingle every time you go through a trick ring. Every time you go to a trick ring, unlike Christmas Nights where it's just silent, where it's not there anymore. But I'm gonna explain a little bit who's the character Biliah. Well, for those who don't know, Riala is one of Wiseman's apprentice and Knights in the evil half of Knights. Basically, while Knights was rebelling against the evil Wiseman the Wicked and his torturous plans to destroy Nightopia to make a nightmare land, basically Knights rebelled. Believe it or not, Knights was a nightmare. However, Riala kept his nightmaring how should I say? Riala follow his nightmaring worshipship of Wiseman the Wicked, and he's basically Knights' second most medicine adversary yet besides Wiseman the Wicked and Jackal, of course. But yeah, in the comics, Riala is more explained, because believe it or not, while Elliot and Clarice was dualizing with Knights to complicate their fears in real life, Riala was dualizing with one of Elliot's friends, Roger. And no, not Roger from American Dad. And Roger is the blonde kid. If you see my Nights into Dreams LP, you know that blonde kid was on the opposing side of Elliot Edwards' basketball team. And what Riala was gonna do, he was gonna use all his energy to all his Red Idiot energy to not only conquer the dream world if Wiseman the Wicked failed, but he was going to conquer the awake world. And part 2 of the Knights comics, Roger energy was used up, so Riala couldn't dualize with him anymore with all his idiot power. So he basically took all of Knights' energy, and basically Knights was almost dead. The only reason why Knights went to the awake world because he was very curious, and seeing how he defeat the Wiseman the Wicked, he had nothing else to do. And then Sonic complained to his friends like in Sonic Boom, and look who it is! It's Gilwing! And I thought you took away your Christmas get up. Green and red ain't ain't Valentine's related, Gilwing.
Yeah, it may not be Valentine's related to you, but it's still related to me.
Time to go back to the void. I find it kind of weird that I find it kind of weird that Riala is, while you're playing as Riala in April Fool's Nights, you face off your Nightmare brothers, because overall Riala is evil. But yet again, in the comics, that is explained as well that Riala hated Wiseman and he was doing a crappy ass job. It's sort of like how Ramirez was to Lord Galcian. He took over, or better yet, Metal Sonic, Lord Garaham, you know, those typical second apprentice villains, like saying that the master wouldn't do his job, so let the apprentice take over. Okay, now for the rest of the extras. Now we have is pictures. Yeah, we have pictures from. Okay, how should I? We got concept art and pictures from the game, all the way dating back in 1995, before this game was released. And believe it or not, guys, Nights into Dreams was going to be another Sonic game. However, Yuji Naka wanted to create something, let's say, new. No, not Yuji Naka. Atashi Iizuka the creator of NiGHTS wanted to create something new, and you know, he didn't want to make a basic platforming game. And seeing how the Sega Saturn mostly entitled with arcade games, instead they made it into an on-rails game. They changed the character, made it to like where the character could fly, because Sonic's built for platforming, not on-rails flying. We got pictures of Elliot Edwards, who sooner dye his hair as an adult and became Jaguar. And we got Clarice, aka she will grow up to be Ulala from Space Channel 5. If you want to hear about those fan theories, check out my Nights into Dreams video part 3. I'll put a link in the description. And we got artwork for the NiGHTOPians. Basically, they're like the chows of this game. And believe it or not, both this game and the HD version of NiGHTS have a NiGHTOPian garden. I mean, a NiGHTOPian collection. I'm thinking of the sequel. A NiGHTOPian collection, and basically, yeah, it's like the chow garden. You get to take care of your chows and stuff. However, though, there is a little unique thing about the NiGHTOPian collection. You won't see it in the original, but you'll see it in the HD version. Either way, you get to see it both in the original and the HD version. Is that if you Counter-Strike a NiGHTOPian and a Nightmare and they became a Mephian, basically this game's version of a Dark Chow. This only happens if you, let's say, push a Nightmare into a NiGHTOPian egg, or paraloop a NiGHTOPian into a Nightmare. Basically, yeah. Oh, and another unique thing about the NiGHTOPians in this game is that every time you re-enter a level or replay a level, the music changes of what content or mood they got. Like, say, the NiGHTOPians are very happy and cheerful, you'll hear that type of theme. If they're all gritty, sad, upset, and angry with you, you'll hear that type of theme. But yeah, but to be honest, nobody doesn't give a crap about the NiGHTOPians. We got a bunch of NiGHTS goods and plushie, a NiGHTS cap, which probably the equivalent of a Sonic cap, a NiGHTS bed, a mouse pad, and there are more merchandising. And in the HD version of NiGHTS. And this is the NiGHTOPian collection. Oh, and as you all know, I edit the music, and this music's the concept art from Journey of Dreams, which I may do July 5th on NiGHTS' 19th birthday, because that's when the game originally came out, July 5th, 1996. Not only that, in this extra video, I actually got a video when Sega interviewed Tashi Iizuka how NiGHTS was created, and the 2 trailers of NiGHTS into Dreams. So yeah, you'll be hearing the main theme song, because it actually comes in the trailers. But yeah, this is what the NiGHTOPian collection, and they have various animations. However, the NiGHTOPians are in 2D, but you know, this was an early 3D game. Even though this wasn't a platformer, this was more of an on-rails game, and we saw one NiGHTOPian with a jackhammer. But yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You see that NiGHTOPian with the sheep head? Yeah, that's a Mephian, and I have a total of 6 of them in this game. I think. I don't know if I have to scratch that or not. But yeah, I don't really like the NiGHTOPians in this game. Oh, see, if you see that little icon of NiGHTS, and the Nightopians where it ranges from purple to pink. That's their mood content. And yeah, it's like the Chow Garden. But yeah, I got 6 Mephians, 1 and an egg, and that's what the Mephian egg looks like. And a golden egg, which I haven't yet to discover what that is. Again, I don't take care of the Nightopians, but it's a little extra thing if you're flying around the levels. But who's willing to take care of the Nightopians? Again, this game is arcade-centric. And even then, if you explore around as the kids, you still got the Awaker on your ass. Luckily in the sequel, luckily in Journey of Dreams, it was like a Chow Garden. But I'll do Journey of Dreams once I get to it. Well, anyway, we got even more artwork and merchandising from Nights into Dreams. This is the HD version. More plushies. Even got Christmas plushies, not only with the Knights characters, but we got Christmas plushies from Pao-chan and Lion from Virtua Fighter 2, and Christmas Honey, which is very impressive. Well, yet again, fighting vipers and Virtua Fighter are very popular in Japan. Not only that, we got artwork from Sonic the Hedgehog designer Nashimo Nata, which he'll do Sonic 1, Sonic CD. He'll do a little bit of this game, and Burning Rangers, which is sadly his last game. But he did do Blink's the Time Cat, and if you listen to certain soundtracks in Blink, I did my research online. There are some Burning Rangers tracks, believe it or not, in the game. I've yet to play those 2 games, but maybe I will LP them in the future. I don't know, seeing I'm just a big ass Sega fan. But Blinks is on my Microsoft, not Sega. It's too bad Nato Oshima never came back, nor Yuji Naka. I think his last game was Sonic 06. But anyway, this is the sound test. Basically, you want to hear your favorite Nights into Dreams soundtrack, this is where you go, besides YouTube. The only thing I don't like about the soundtrack, it has every song except for the result screen music. Why? You have Meshes in Nightopia, which is the second most iconic theme of Nights, and the original song, but you don't have, the result screen music. I don't know why. In the sequel, Journey of Dreams, it has every music, including the result screen music in its sound test. I don't know why this game doesn't have it. Well, anyway, in the HD version, you get achievements and trophies, and leaderboards. If you ever want to impress your friends on certain stages of Nights and rank up that high score, basically, yeah. And there's my high score right there below the Sega Gamer, because I was sort of jealous of Digi's 2.0 on Jackal. Well, anyway, before I say anything else, only in the PS2 version of Nights into Dreams, if you play it on April Fools, you get to face off Nights instead of Riala, and you're playing as Riala, which is a cool feature, but I find it kind of weird that Nights fucking explodes and has Riala's voice for some odd reason. I don't know. In Journey of Dreams, spoiler alert, Nights doesn't explode, he just vanishes, saying that I will come back again, but not today. But I find it kind of weird how Nights has an exploding animation, but you can only play that boss fight in the PS2 version. That's not my footage, that's just footage I got off the internet. But in this game, Nights doesn't vanish. If you read the comics, Nights is just unconscious, knocked out. So yeah, I'll put a link in the description. If you want to read the Nights into Dreams comics, they're not as complex as the Sonic comics. You don't have to start from scratch. They're simple, but a little bit more detailed than the original game. So yeah. Oh, and this is what the HD version of Nights look like. Also, not only that, you get to play the Sega Saturn version of Nights if you're truly nostalgic, and if you want to see your pre-rendered polygons. And unlike the original Nights, you can set your own boss order. You could do that as well in the original Nights, but the options menu was a little bit more complex. Luckily in this game, you just go to the options and bam, you can just choose your boss order. The only thing I wish is that, unlike the HD version, is that you get to pick your own bosses. Because even though it's a little bit more complex, because you gotta go through the bullshit save data, even though you can beat this game less than a day, is that you get to pick your own bosses in some odd rhyme or reason, which was kind of cool. Because I usually, when I played the original Nights on my Sega Saturn, I like the fact that I get to pick it. I usually pick Puffy in Spring Valley and Gilwing in Splash Garden. Because I don't know, because the comics show their perspective nightmares, and believe it or not, Puffy in the comics is actually Clarice's music teacher well, not in real life, but you know, in the Awake world of Twin Seed. But yeah. Oh, and this is what the levels look like in HD. I did some cutting out, so yeah. Yeah, and here's the iconic dolphin part, which, you know, this is what it looks like in glorious 720p or 420p. So yeah, if you ever want to play Nights into Dreams, but you can't afford a Saturn, or you can't get like yourself a Japanese copy, and you can't afford it, you can play it on the Xbox Live, PSN, and it's also on PC. So yeah, it's on Steam. It's only for $5, so if you don't have nothing else to do, you can play this game. Unless you're curious about the series, or you're really in the arcade games, ranking out those points. And this is what the bosses look like in HD. Yeah, it's the same strategy, but you know, the rooms are much more clearer though. I really do love, you know, Puffy's room. Gilwing's is okay, but Real is the most impressive in the HD version of Nights. Oh yeah, some of these areas are actually in Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing Transform. Yeah, I've been recently playing that game a lot. I mean, I was very curious about that gaming series, but it's an okay standard Mario Kart. It's an okay standard Sega Racer. I can't say it's phenomenal like Mario Kart. Oh hell no. But for a Sega Racer, it's okay. I would only recommend the game if you're a true die-hard Sega fanboy like myself, and you really could appreciate the great fan service. But if you're a Sonic fan, I would just say stick to Sonic writers, and just wait until you accept the game like I have, because I gotta go play through Sega franchises to get all those references. Cause seriously, nobody ain't gonna get Nights into Dreams reference. Hell, not even in Sonic Adventure I didn't got that reference or cameo. And nobody else gonna get into a reference of Panzer Dragoon or Skies of Arcadia. Which I really do love those tracks, by the way. They're very unique, is that you get to, not only you're racing on the ground, you're racing on a boat and a plane. But yeah, I know it's borrowed from Diddy Kong Racing, but you know, it's a little bit more intuitive than Diddy Kong Racing, is that vehicles automatically change through changing blue ring gates. But yeah, if you're mixed about that series, just go play Mario Kart. The Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing is just really a fan service game. I can't say it's the best, but it is one fantastic game. Oh, and this is what Spring Valley looks like in HD, of course. And I'm just showing more iconic areas like flying up the mountainside. Oh yeah, in Sega All-Stars Racing, if you could get the reference, they actually borrow this stage along with Frozen Belle from Elliot's level of Nights into Dreams, which is kind of cool. Except that, you know, the Frozen Belle part is like a boat riding area, and the Spring Valley area is like a flying area, which you expect in Nights, because in Frozen Belle you're a bobsled, makes sense, even though that wasn't a boat. And in Spring Valley you're just flying. Well, it's the beginner's level. And this is what Gilling looks like in HD. The room is definitely a little bit brighter and stuff, but hitting the boss and the strategy is the same. Difference is that Gilling's polygon has been changed. He has like a more of an upper chin than his lower chin in the original. Yeah, I gotta catch up my breath because I've run out of water. But yeah, this is what. Oh, and you'll use his boss area too in Sonic All-Stars Racing Transform. Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing. And here's probably one of the most impressive HD areas of Nights into Dreams. Riella's Idia Palace room. And you know, I really do like the purple floor and background, which we didn't get in the original Sega Saturn version. In the original Sega Saturn version, you only got a red background, but that purple mist does add a little detail though, which makes Riella even more dark and menacing than than what you find in the original. Also, if you're hankering for more Nights gameplay, but you can't wait until fucking Christmas, you can play the game on Halloween. Except, you know, the game doesn't have dazzling effects, and it ain't that magical or special on Halloween. Basically, it's just characters' costume change. Elliot is wearing a vampire costume, and Clarice is just wearing a witch costume. Basically, yeah. Not only that, Nights also got a costume. It's Polterghost Nights, which is regular Nights, except Nights is like gray for some odd reason. Not only that, Nights has this coral blue mist effect every time it flies around the stage, of course. Yeah, Nights is non-gender, but you should know that by now. Again, I portray Nights as a feminine boy, like say 50% boy, but 75% ladylike. But yeah, there's more detail in the comics and in Journey of Dreams, which I may LP in July on Nights' 19th birthday, of course. Oh, and with Polterghost Nights, Polterghost Nights, you get to play the boss area, and basically it's the same thing what you expect in the original game. And you know, that's where the and you know, that's where the regular areas are at. So if you're hanging for more Nights gameplay, you can play this game on Halloween, but that's only in the HD version, the PS2 version. But if you can't wait, and if you want to see some in July, you can either A, on Christmas nights, the presents area, there's red Christmas nights, you can play Christmas nights at any time, or B, if you got the HD version, you get to see another cosmetic costume change. This time on July 19th, Clarice will be wearing a sexy bathing suit, and Elliot will just be wearing swimming trunks. Basically, yeah, that's what the summer rendition of Nights looks like. And if you're not playing the game on, if you're not playing Christmas Nights on any holiday, this is what the original menu looks like. However, like I said again, in the presents area, if you see that red Christmas Nights icon, you could basically play Christmas Nights at any time of day. You can play it on July. Oh, and that Riala icon, yeah, you could pretty much play Riala any day of... Pretty much play as Riala any day of the... You can put at any time once you unlock him in April Fool's Nights. Also, there are 4 playable features in this game. Well, besides the NiGHTopian collection. There's Link Attack. Link Attack is just basically the regular game, but see how many links you could make. So there's no high score. There's only a link score. So yeah, you get it because we gotta have more links in the game. No Zelda. Don't put Zelda pun references here. Oh, and I paused here for some awkward reason. But yeah, my challenge is, if you have the original Christmas Nights, how many links you could do. In this game, I usually do 100. But you know, basically, I want to see you guys do this challenge. And Time Attack is pretty much the same thing, but the difference is that not how many links you could keep up, is how many items you could get and links within the certain time limit. So yeah, that's what Time Attack is. I think I go through 2 laps and that's pretty much about it. Oh yeah, also, I want to do a Nights into Dreams challenge with you guys. Let's see if you can surpass my high score and Digi Valentine's high score. Because I was very impressed that he got a 2.0 on Jackal and got like 1,800 to 1,820 and 20 points in that game. Don't believe me? Go watch his playthrough. So I want to do the Jackals challenge. Basically, in the Jackals challenge, I want to see how many fucking links. I want to see how many. I want to see how much is your score counter in that game, and if you could defeat the Jackal the fastest, let's say 109 seconds. If you can defeat Jackal in 109 seconds, you deserve a cookie. But, you know, that's just a little challenge thing. If you want to show it to me on Tumblr or Facebook, go right ahead. This is karaoke. And if you ever want to sing the original Nights theme song, basically, yeah. However, though, in this rendition of karaoke, you get to jack up the theme song for some odd reason and switch the tempo. Oh, speaking of that game, I gotta finish that game. I got the extras recorded for that game, but I'll finish it up soon. I'll let you guys listen to it.
Anytime, any place, I can see your face. You're that special one that I've been waiting for, and I hope you're looking for someone like me.
In my dreams, people love me in the night. Everything's so sweet in your eyes. I feel there's so much inside. In the night, I want to see you standing there.
Yeah, I find it kind of funny. But to see the voices tempo up and down. Anyway, we got one more playable features before we get to the grand finale. The melody box. Like I said, the NiGHTOpians have their own continental move every time you play the game. However, you get to choose whatever continental move you want. It could be any song. Any song. The only negative about the original Christmas Nights is that I wish it could be implemented in this game, besides more holiday features, is that I wish you could play the song. I wish you could play the song not only in fucking Spring Valley, but in any type of level in this game. However, though, you can only play the song in Spring Valley. I mean, it's the whole soundtrack set in every game, but you know, you have to only play it in Spring Valley. I don't know why, but hey, if you want to listen to Soft Museum, but adding more bagpipes, you basically mess around with this setting. Again, it would have been nice to play Soft Museum with more Scottish bagpipes in this version of Nights, but nah. And you know, you can hear, this is the only time you can hear variations of the song, because in the game it just automatically changes, depends on if you take care of your NiGHTOpians. So yeah, but I'm only playing Spring Valley, adding more piano pieces, and you know, I usually, this is the part where I start showing what the melody box could do when you enter a dream or a mare, of course. And this is what it looks like when you enter a mare. Basically, yeah. Basically, you get to hear the song that you rearrange yourself, and you get to play the level. However, though, I'm only walking around as Clarice, exploring some areas, but again, you got the Awaker on your ass. This is what this other feature does. Now, this icon right here is not Knights or Biliah or any other type of characters. This is one character's first 3D appearance, unless you count the other game, which sucked ass, Traveler's Tales. And it's no other than Sonic the Hedgehog's 3D appearance in the original Christmas Nights. Yeah, it is a great treat that you get to play as Sonic in this game in 3D, which is the best version, which is the best feature ever. I had this ding, I had it recorded, but I had it recorded live so I could show you my live reactions, so I could tell you how this is the best thing ever. But yeah, Sonic controls, you know, like Sonic controls, you know, like he did in the 2D games. He built off momentum. Sonic could jump into a ball. He can't spin into a ball though, sadly. We had to wait until Sonic R, unless you count that as a true 3D Sonic game. There are no other characters in this game besides Sonic. So you want to see Knuckles and Tails in 3D? You gotta go play Sonic R, or at least Sonic Adventure. But yeah, this is Sonic's first true 3D appearance in this game, unless you count Sonic 3D Blast or Sonic R, which sucks ass. Oddly enough, Sonic does have his triple jump. Has a triple jump just like in Mario, for some odd reason. The Elliot Clarice has a triple jump too, but to be honest, this game has less to do with platforming and more to do with the on-rails flying experience. But yeah, this is the greatest feature ever. But the name of the game is still the same. You collect 20 blue chips to get the Idio. Yeah, I just need some more. You collect 20 blue chips to get the Idia, and basically, you send it to the Idia Palace. That's all. But yeah, you get to play as Sonic in 3D! Oh, and I paused there for some unspectacle reason whatsoever. There are no rings, no springs, but yeah. The only negative part is that the world ain't... If you play this area, the world ain't that big. It's in a sandbox-ish area. Basically, you could explore, but there's no objective than just you know, destroying the Idia capture. And plus, there are no other levels to play as Sonic except for in Spring Valley. Yeah, this game. The sad part is that this game was again built for the on-rails flying experience than platforming, because believe it or not, Nights into Dreams was supposed to only cast the illusion of 3D. It ain't true 3D. So if you want a true 3D platforming experience during this time, you had to play Crash Bandicoot or Mario 64. So yeah. This is the closest that we got to somewhat a 3D platform-ish game. Again, the Sega Saturn didn't really have a lot of mainstream games going for, unless you count the Panzer Dragoon series. Again, I mean, it did have a couple of platformer games, but most of them were either 2.5D, like this game, or just pure 2D like a Star or Rayman or Mega Man for that matter, because Mega Man 8 is actually on this game console. So yeah, the Sega Saturn, don't expect the Saturn to have well quality mainstream genres like 3D platformers, action. Okay, it did have action adventure games, but some of them were just fucking 2D like Legends of Oasis. They weren't 3D like in Zelda. So don't expect 3D action adventure games, 3D 3D platformers. The only type of genres you're gonna see on the Sega Saturn is pretty much the on-rails flying or shooting genre. Yeah, the on-rails flying or shooting genre, 2.5D beat 'em up genre, aka Guardian Heroes. The fighting genre, no fucking duh. The on-rails first-person shooter genre, House of the Dead, and Virtual Cop, and the racing genre. Oh, and the third-person shooter genre, aka Burning Rangers and Virtuon. Because believe it or not, the Sega Saturn, Sega's only purpose for making this console because they want the 3D arcade experience with you at home. Again, Sega didn't go back to the mainstream to create RPGs or 3D JRPGs or 3D action adventures or 3D platforming games until the Sega Dreamcast came out. But for the time, this was the closest thing that we got. Oh yeah, and the third thing about this game, believe it or not, they were going to use the NiGHTS engine, and they were going to make this game a fully rendered 3D platforming game for Sonic Extreme. However, Yuji Naka during the time, while working with Hitachi Iizuka with this game, declined the deal with I gotta catch my breath. Okay. Declined the deal with Sega Techno Institute, and basically Sonic Extreme was cancelled. Don't believe me? I'll have a link to the video of basically what Sonic Extreme looked like. So yeah, it's the closest thing that we got, and this is what Sonic Extreme could have been, but it wasn't. And yeah, and it was gonna put the Sega Saturn back on the it was gonna put Sega back on the mainstream, because the only mainstream console they had during the time was the Sega Mega Drive, or Genesis if you live in America. And basically, the Sega Mega Drive was basically the only mainstream console, and the Sega CD. But the Sega CD was more experimental than, let's say, mainstream. But, you know, it didn't do so well like this console. There are a couple of gems, like Pop Flamel, Wonder Dog, and many others, which I'll go through. Keo's Flying Delivery Service. Yeah, eventually on this channel I will show off some Sega exclusives and Sega games that you may haven't heard before, that were licensed by Sega and developed by various different companies, but you know, you probably haven't heard of them before, because either A, you haven't heard of it, or B, you haven't played it on that console. But yeah, the greatest feature that you could play as Sonic. Oh, and believe it or not, Sonic Extreme was gonna have a plot line like the Sat AM cartoon, and it was gonna introduce a character called Tiana Manx. Here's a little picture, and basically she was Sonic's love interest besides Amy. But before we get on to that, here's another unique boss fight about this game that I love, that I prefer the original Christmas Nights over the HD version. The exclusive boss fight with Dr. Robotnik. And seriously, when the hell did he got that fat? Seriously, you're gonna get diabetes. But yeah, this is the greatest thing ever. I know it's a puffy reskin, but but you gotta deny this shit is very cool. And this is the only 3D area where you get to run straight with Sonic and has some remote thing platforming, or a remote thing platforming section. But yeah, every time I put on Christmas Nights, I usually go straight to the Sonic feature, maybe watch the 2 trailers, and that's it, because this boss fight alone is just epic. Seriously, Robotnik, lose some goddamn fucking weight. I know it's a puffy skin, but still, it's Robotnik. He's always has been a fat ass since 1991. Well, anyway, if you notice the music, it's from the Japanese version, the final boss of the Japanese version of Sonic CD. And if you let the music play, it's the original NiGHTS theme. It's Puffy's original theme mixed in. I'll let you guys listen to it. Yeah. Yeah, I really did like that unique twist, is that they added Puffy's theme. Well, anyway, this is Biliah's Sega Gamer. Enjoy the 2 trailers, and see you for Journey of Dreams. To the lights! To the nights! Journey the lights! To the nights!
Thank you.
We had numerous different ideas that we proposed for having a flying character, but the team members really liked the idea of setting the game inside of a dream world. Once we decided to go with a dream world, what we wanted to do was something that wouldn't just be some kind of fantastical dream, but more representative of actual dreams that people might have at night. I read a lot of books and other literature about dreams and the deep psyche in order to learn how to faithfully create an actual dream. There are a lot of books out there by experts. The primary foundation I used was the work of Carl Jung, but I referenced the works of several people who had done proper scientific research on the topic of dreams in order to construct the dream world and also the characters that appear in those dreams. Because of this, I could hear about people's dreams and go, oh, that means such and such. And so for a while, members of my team would come up to me and ask things like, I had a dream about this last night. What does that mean? And I'd say, okay, that means you have residual trauma from this sort of event in your past. So I was acting sort of like a dream interpreter. After a while, I started realizing that it revealed deep-seated psychological issues and emotional scarring and other things I probably shouldn't have been privy to, and I figured maybe I should quit while I was ahead. To put it simply, different people have issues inside themselves that they need to overcome, or some sort of conflict deep within themselves, and dreams give us a means of visualizing those conflicts when we go to sleep. That's how dreams work in the real world, at any rate. The character of NiGHTS represents what's known in psychology as the shadow, which is sort of an alter self. When a man dreams, he'd see his alter self as male, and when a woman dreams, she'd naturally see her alter self as female. In creating NiGHTS, we wanted a character that could conceivably look both male or female, and so that's why we went with a gender-neutral character. When the NiGHTS project was still in its initial phases, the team we had was made up of people who had been working on Sonic titles, where he's running all the time, and we'd already decided from the outset that we were going to make a flying game. So now we have this game, which in English you'd call a platform action game, except this was a platform action game without any platforms. So we'll figure out how exactly we'd even be able to do that. We came up with dozens of different rules and concepts for what sort of thing the character would be able to do in a game like this, but so we ended up in a situation where we were constantly going, well, how about this? How about this? And then we'd try it out and it wouldn't work. There was a lot of trial and error involved. The biggest thing for me was wanting to create a game world for NiGHTS that would be as close as possible to bringing out the feel of an actual dream world. That's one of the things I like most about NiGHTS, is the fact that, as far as I can think of, NiGHTS might be the only game character that a person could ever actually really meet. I really like the idea that fans might look forward to the chance of possibly meeting the real NiGHTS whenever they go to sleep at night.
a dream I could see you're not far away. Anytime, any place, I can see your face. You're that special one that I've been waiting for, and I hope you're looking for someone like me.
In my dreams, I can hear you calling me in the night. Everything's so sweet in your eyes. I feel there's so much inside. In the night, dream delight, I want to see you standing there. In the night, dream delight, I found someone who really cares. In the night, dream delight, I want to see you smile again. In the night, dream delight, you're the one I waited for. In a dream we can do everything we want to. There's nowhere I'd rather be but here with you. The stars above light the way only for you and I'm so glad I found the one I've been looking for.
Keep the dream of you hoping can come through an open door. Just be strong, and you're sure to find the one, the one, the one, the one. I want to see you standing there. In the night, dream delight, I found someone who really cares. In the night, dream delight, I want to see you smile again. In the night, dream delight, you're the one I waited for. To see